Bet you didn't expect this. Welcome to Season 2 of 1x1. I'm going to grab some wood while I explain the rules of 1x1, but first, if you do not know what 1x1 is, it is a survival hardcore challenge that I've made that is centered around the use of an elytra in a 1-block high space. I will show an example of this later when we actually get into the space, but for right now, let's go on to the rules real quick. So you have the first day. I really need to turn off auto jump, thank you. You have the first day, so when you start the world, to the nightfall of the first day to gather all the supplies that you can and utilize them to the best of your abilities to get more supplies. At night, you must get into your 1 high space. Again, I will show you an example of the 1 high space in a minute when it starts to get night and we have no more supplies we need to gather. So, the third rule is you must put all livestock or supplies on the surface into holes for later use. So, if I want these cows that are around me currently, I need to put them in holes. So that is exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to put a couple cows into some holes, and hopefully the goal here is to keep them in these holes until we need them later. We're going to sort of bunker around this area, maybe around right there, and we'll keep these cows close by. These cows are pretty valuable for our food source. I'm sort of wishing there was some chickens around here, but I don't see any. The last rule, or one of the last rules, is I cannot leave the 1x view. So when we enter the 1x view with the elytra, I cannot leave the 1x view, or else I will be penalized either in the form of an item or other forms of challenges or penalization. Those parts are up to you guys. You make the penalizations for when I accidentally get out of the 1x view, although there are some exceptions to leaving the 1x view. The couple exceptions is we will start making the 1-block high. We'll start making our starter point here, actually, to give you guys a better example, because I've been talking without giving examples. We'll open this up, and then I will give you an example of how to use the cubby that you will start the challenge in at nightfall. So we need some half slabs first of all, and then we need a trap door. So half slabs around the tippity top like this, and then a half slab in the middle, a trapdoor to keep out all the mobs, and then you go in with your elytra. Totally did not forget the main concept of the series. You put your elytra on, you spam spacebar, and you end up in your 1x view. Alright, moving on, I need to go get a little bit of supplies. I'm going to wander around for a little bit, grab some supplies, and see you guys back in a second. Okay, that was a bit close. The spider was chasing me. I was right on the end of him, so that could have been a couple hearts. Luckily, managed to dive in the hole right before he got me, and I think he lost interest, so that's a good thing. Let's plop a couple of the raw beef in here to start cooking up, and again, I got about a stack of wood, so we're doing fine, but I wanted to demonstrate the... wow! Okay, so admittedly this is a little while later. I've dug down just a little bit because I wanted to make a demonstration of how you do tunneling in 1.11.2 for this version of the challenge. So, as you see here, this one starts off as a stair, but a couple do end up getting half slabs, but around here, I start using stairs more often. So what happens here is these slabs, if I break this one open, you can see that above it, there is another slab, and that has to be there because it has to be some sort of translucent, non-full block for your character to be able to walk through it. If this half slab was a dirt block, I would not be able to pass this area. It would be some sort of force field. I'd be here and I'd be pushed back, so I'd be pushed back and forth if there was a grass or a dirt block or whatever sort of block there that is a solid block. And so what I did now is I go stair, normal, translucent, replacement blocks, and then stair, and so on and so forth until I have the proper tunneling technique that I have right now, which is getting me down quite quickly, I do say, especially considered to the circumstances that we have where most of the blocks will end up pushing me back. So just to do a little example of this, I'm going to run up here and we're going to make some slabs and stairs. We need both, actually. So slabs and stairs. Boom. Well, I said that backwards as I made them, but you get the gist. All right, back down. All right, so I'm not able to walk into this block, all right? So I can break this block and change it into a stair and then have a half slab down here that I can walk into, right? So then to keep the flow going, we need a half slab here, right? But watch, I can't walk into it because the block above it is a full block, this stone block. So we take that away, make it a translucent, transparent block, whatever you want to consider it, add another half slab, torch it up so there's no annoying little shader glitches, and then walk forward. There's your technique for doing the challenge in 1.11.2, since I know that was a comment on the last season where someone tried it in 1.11.2 and it did not work because they were running into the bug where it was pushing them back. There's your solution. Welcome to 1.11.2. And as with each hole, our cubby hole, we do need to make it a little bit fancy, so we're adding the, once again, 4 colors of the woods when we get them. So far we only have oak, so we have our oak section leading down, which will not be the main section this time. The oak section will be completely different, but don't worry, I do have a different plan for each of the tunnels. It's not going to be like last season, don't worry. This season is going to turn out quite different if you stick it through, so I'd highly recommend watching, most of them. I have a plan. You might like that plan. You should stick around for Anyway, I should go back to mining instead of blabbering on like a silly person. I actually realized I just misspoke in the last clip. I didn't mean to say all of the woods. I meant to say the biomes. We're going to do all of the biomes this season. So this one is going to be normal oaks. These ones are going to be mesa probably, maybe desert, and I don't know, nether, because we had the nether portal there last time. We'll do nether for this side. So there'd be nether, mesa, or nether, desert, mesa, and then like all of the normal ones with oak trees and normal trees and stuff like that. So all of the distinctive biomes, not the trees, the biomes. Sorry for the Would it be cliche if I ended off this episode like I ended off the first episode of the last series? AKA, I make a tree farm and then end it off right after I make the tree farm. Let's skip that part this time. You guys already saw the tree farm, right? If not, you should go back and watch the series. I'm just gonna make the tree farm again, and it's nothing special. So don't worry about it. It's just a box with a couple half slabs around. But if there's any changes, I'll be sure to bring you guys back. Also, something I forgot to mention. Once you get through the initial push of the block, so for example, this area, once you get through the initial little pushback it gives you, you're allowed to run free like you did in 1.11.1. So if you wanted to do that for a little bit of a base and just have this small 1x area, go right ahead. That's how you do it. You just gotta have a little bit of push through, and then you're free to wander and roam around like I can. Alright, so this is pretty much just a silly proof of concept. My reach downwards is about 5 blocks. My reach upwards, also about 5 or so blocks. That was really close to just getting pushed off, don't worry. Anyway, so both 5 blocks up and 5 blocks down, so that's around 11 blocks total considering we're on a level ourselves. So that should be enough for a tree. I just need to make the area big enough for a tree to grow, and I should have pretty easy access to most branches and the trunk. So let's see if I can actually get this to... Alright, so the pit of doom is pretty much done down there. Up there, it's a pretty big room. Now it's just time to add the little railings on the side. I also plan to have a couple railings going down, or at least as many as I can fit, to give me easier and easier access to each branch and little individual logs so I don't miss stuff, as opposed to the last farm where I ended up missing a couple things just plainly because I couldn't reach them. They were a little bit too far out of the area I did, and moving into an area that I can't really do, like an open space, is pretty risky, and it has a high chance of backfiring on me and turning into me losing items or such. I need more half slabs. Okay, our little staircase down to the next level is pretty much done, and I was going to go one more down with this, but I think it'd just be easier if I kept with this. This gives me pretty easy access to there. I can do a little bit of another tinier one just around the bottom instead of just like this big massive tunnel that I've been doing. So it should turn out pretty alright. Again, it should give me a pretty good range on where I can reach and where I can't. We'll actually have to see how it turns out when I get a grass and tree in there then. Alright, are you ready for the sort of grand reveal? Alright, so it's not, exactly the greatest. It's going to look a lot better when we get more designs in here. I actually have a pretty cool thing in mind for this area. It's going to look pretty neat if I can do it right. And I think, it would look pretty cool. It's based on a couple of the biomes. Once again, we're going for the biome-based this season instead of the just trees, and we're going to throw a couple things in later. Again, it's in those later episodes I keep teasing about, but those will happen eventually, and the couple other twists. But I'm just filling in the grass now. There's only a little bit left to go, and then we're pretty much done with down here. I can plant a tree and see if it'll grow. Okay, so it looks to me like a skeleton has fallen in my hole. I ended up closing the door because I didn't really want him to get out. I think the trapdoor blocks his pathfinding for the most part. I want to get him without him getting me. Bone meal. Boom. Yes, this is what I needed for the tree. We needed some bone meal so we can go and see if the trees will actually grow. Let's go down and do that right now. I finished up the little bit of grass down there. Off camera, I'll start getting actual grass to grow down to this area, and then next episode we will start with the plan of this area to make it look a little bit more pretty instead of ugly. Alright, so probably place it around there, and bone meal. Yes, they do grow. And I have pretty much full reach to the entire tree. Fantastic. Yeah, and if it gets a little bit too tall, yeah, I can just come over here to this side and nab it from here. Fantastic. This works a lot better than I expected. Awesome. So there's the tree farm. And you know what? I am going to end it off like the first episode of 1x1. Thanks so much for watching this episode of 1x1. I hope you guys are enjoying Season 2 so far, and I hope you guys are excited to see a little bit more of the series. I hope to see you in the next video. Have a great day. Bye-bye. Okay, so I don't normally do this, but it's the day after I recorded the episode, and I realized that there wasn't really enough content in the episode, so I thought I'd bring you guys back to explain our plan for the pathway down and do a little bit to it to make it a little bit more fancier for the end of the episode. So as I said before, all of these are going to be based off the biomes, and it starts off with oak because these ones are going to be based off the normal wood biomes, like the oak biome, spruce, birch, etc. etc. So I have a couple designs in my head. The first one that we're going to try, and again this might change, is going to be oak, spruce, birch, jungle, dark oak, and then acacia because it's gray and it'll break it up nicely, I hope. And then we'll do it again so it's dark oak, blah 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 blah, through and through until we reach the bottom. And then the floor for each of these is going to be dirt, and then if there's any space in places that I like that doesn't show a lot of grass, like maybe here for each of the stairs it would be leaves just to add a little bit of green into it. So then we would have to go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 each time, land on the 5th one, and do it to change it to the oak. And hopefully it doesn't interfere way down to here. I didn't exactly count it out to have the doorways, so we'll have to see how that is. I'll do a couple off camera and then I'll bring you back to do the grass. Okay, so I'm sort of out of wood, but we got most of the way down on one side, and the oak does not interfere with our doorway down here to the tree farm, so everything works out pretty fine and dandy for right now. So let's come back up here, and to get to what I want it to be, I think we'd also need to remove each one of these for the grass to grow on top of it, but for right now I'm going to leave those there for my safety, and I can't exactly pick this one back up. Can you come here, please? Come on, come here. Let me pick you up, please? 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 Okay, it's not there. Ugh. Don't have any more wood to make half slabs and stuff. Oh man, fine. Can I use a stair? I don't think I can use a stair. Yeah, that's not close enough. Thank you. I just wanted to push it forward. Fantastic. Alright, give me my half slab back. Break that. Break that. Go forward. Thank you. I just wanted to change these into dirt for right now, and then as I said earlier, we'll have some leaves and stuff in here as well to make it look more like the biomes. As we go down, it'll change more and more into different types of biomes, so it'll start off as oak, and then hopefully I'll make it look like the other biomes somehow. Somehow I'll try and accomplish that, but hopefully it'll end up looking pretty good. I'm aiming to have a pretty big and wide base filled with a lot of different things this season, as opposed to last season where I sort of failed on a couple builds that I wanted to do, died pretty early because I just wanted to go fight the Ender Dragon and get it done with, and yeah, failed pretty badly. So let me finish placing this dirt and I'll get back to you guys. So all our dirt's placed down. I finished up over here in the tree farm, placed down all of the dirt for it to start growing, and then off camera when you guys come back next episode, this should... Wait, what? Oh! When did I accidentally take off my Elytra? When does it let you stay in the 1 block height if you don't have your Elytra? What? This is revolutionary. This is revolutionary! I don't think it's actually revolutionary, but it's pretty cool. Anyway, so, next episode when you guys come back, this should be all grass, and I'll have a little bit more wood. I'll finish up the oaks on both sides, and that's it for this episode. I already did the outro, so you're not getting a second one. I mean it. You know, I bet that felt really weird for some people if they've gotten used to my intro, so, here you go. And remember, stay fancy, and peace out. Bye-bye.